No, I got this. My beer and milkshake combination is like really just...
It's also forcing us to like, all right, we gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to Drinking Inside the Box, Season 2, Episode 32. Guys, this is a special episode, and you're probably thinking, why? It's Season 2, Episode 32. Those numbers mean nothing. But Drinking Inside the Box hosts, we are finally back after many, many weeks of remote Arizona and Illinois podcasts. We are finally back up in the pod attic for the last time ever. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, no. Wait a minute. I just moved back here just for this.
I quit. I've been waiting for you guys to move back so I can do it face to face.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, people have always said that to quit your job or to break up with someone face to face, it means more. So I respect you for it. Unfortunately,
well, that's not what I wanted. So no.
But yes, I'm back, and obviously to you guys listening. That means nothing because I've always been here inside your ears. But here for me is in Illinois.
But in the pod attic. And this might be our last pod attic podcast because I am moving our pod room to an actual room downstairs of the house. So, like I said, it's a big episode. We're back in person. Last podcast in the pod room. Pod attic, Jesus, now it's going to be a pod room. All things super relevant to you guys, but actually mean a lot.
Super exciting for us.
Yeah, to us. So it's exciting, but
insert the sappy music.
I was trying to think of a tune and I couldn't. But if you happen to be new here, I doubt it. My name is Kelly, and sitting across the table is Gordon, because I didn't introduce us.
Hey, everybody. This is the gentleman that was speaking prior to the introduction. I am just realizing I'm still struggling with the allergies here. My body is not used to Illinois. Yeah. I was working in the cornfields today, and so if it sounds like I'm struggling reading, it's because I am struggling to read.
Oh. Usually that's my problem, but so this is really gonna be difficult. Two of us. I'm dyslexic and you have allergies, so great. Actually in Illinois we like to say it's actually not allergy season, it's you just officially have COVID.
Oh, gotcha.
So
well, I'm sorry you officially have COVID then. Because
you don't have anything else. It's either COVID or nothing. So
I think that's a US thing.
Just kidding. Vaccinated. Wait, did you get your second vaccination yet?
Fully vaccinated?
I just got fully on Friday.
Oh my god, I am I'm the weak link then. I get fully vaccinated on Saturday. It's Wednesday, by the way. So I'm almost there.
Which one did you get again?
The Moderna.
Okay, that's what I got. So I'm curious to see how you react. So my first one, my arm literally hurt. She stabbed me. But let me just preface how she gave me the shot. I'm 29 years old. And it's okay. I'm a woman. I can tell my age. I don't get mad when people ask me. She held my arm and she stuck me. But when you're a child, she brought the needle in and she kept saying, "Oochie, ouchie, oochie, ouchie." She said, "Oh, all done so fast." And I was like, okay.
She said, "Oochie, ouchie."
Yeah, trying to distract me from the needle.
Did it?
I mean, I was staring right at it, so no. My arm.
You looked. See, I can't look.
Oh, I love looking.
Can't. I looked one time. Sorry to cut you off. No. I looked one time for high school soccer, for high school sports. They make you get all those shots.
You guys had to do steroids beforehand, like us?
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding.
For band. Zing. Anyways, I forget what it was. There's one that bubbles up when you do it.
Tetanus?
It was the first one that
rabies?
I ever... Rabies. Yeah, fine. Knowing
I don't know.
Knowing the coach that we had, it might have been rabies. Anyways, I looked and my skin bubbled up, and I'll never look at a shot again.
Yeah, I don't mind. I used to get allergy shots literally weekly, so it doesn't affect me. But like it hurt instantly. Like the needle wasn't even out, and it hurt.
Felt like fire.
So bad. I felt like I was like walking around, my arm was just dragging on the floor. It felt awful.
That was your second one or your first?
That was my first one. And then the next day I was just in a lot of arm pain and had a headache. Here come my second one, and then I got my second one this past Friday. So when you hear this podcast a week from today, I guess. And the Thursday before, I was drinking at my local watering hole and got drunk and was like, let me work. They're like, we're short staffed. I'm like, let me work. They said yes. So I signed up to like work that Friday night after my shot. And I was like, oh, why did I do that? Well, got the shot, felt nothing all Friday. Literally nothing. Worked a 6.5 hour shift serving. And I have not been a server for almost 2 years. And my job now is 8 hours of sitting in front of a computer. And if I want activity, like I have to go walk around the building, which I do at lunchtime because I need it. So the next morning I woke up and I felt like a bus ran me over, not once, with all 16 wheels, but 700 times. My arm felt like I could easily cut it off, and that would be less painful than how it felt. I was sore from being on my feet for 6.5 hours.
It was like a double whammy.
My back felt like I was 90 years old and I had just walked to the bathroom and back. Like that's like it was awful.
Do you think it was a delayed reaction, or do you think that it was like because you were moving around so much Friday?
I think in the morning it had a lot to do with just how sore I was from all the activity I did on Friday because I don't do activity anymore. But then as the day went on, I was so achy, like in like chills. And you know that like achiness where like you literally can't even like hold a pen? Like I was like, I had a WrestleMania event that night. So I was trying to like make the dip. And at that point I was like, I don't know if I can go. And I was like holding the spoon. But I like could barely hold the spoon because it hurt so bad to stir the cream cheese. Tylenol, hot shower, manned up, and I was good to go. Yeah. But so I hope it goes better for you.
Well, the first one was terrible. Remember, you guys, my sister was on the podcast for that one, and you guys were giving me hell.
Yeah.
I felt.
Oh wow! I'm so sorry. That makes me feel bad. So I got a 20-minute cameo about me, and we didn't even let you talk about yours. Wow, I feel like an ass.
But that's because it was you and my sister. Of course, I didn't feel like I was going to. I didn't expect anything less than what I received. But yeah. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, the second's worse," but then people are like, "If you reacted bad to the first one, you don't react bad to the second one." So I don't know. We'll see. There's something that might be going on Sunday, and I've already canceled just in case.
Oh, that's good. I hear that conspiracy people, I don't necessarily believe it, but I heard that if you react worse to the first one and not the second one, you've had COVID.
Yep. Yeah, that's what a lot of people said to me. Which makes sense because Sam had it.
Yeah, so who knows?
It was odd. I felt that it was odd that I never felt sick. It was, you hear all this stuff, oh, it's so contagious and we gotta stop and you gotta, not go out and everything. And then, so I was living with Sam and I never felt sick, and I was like, I thought this thing was supposed to be super contagious. So maybe
I know a lot of people that their significant others had it and shared the same bed and did everything the same and never got it. So it's crazy.
They made it.
Exactly. Yeah. Do I feel different now that I have the vaccine? Do I feel like a better person? No, I don't.
Except for the superhuman strength.
I do have a card now that I didn't post on social media, so I forgot. So I hope it actually works.
I'm getting it tattooed on me.
Yeah, so I don't know if it worked. I also didn't post that I voted when I voted.
So your vote doesn't count.
So
if you don't post on social media, it doesn't count.
Has anything been real this year? I don't know. But no, cool, I got it. Because now I can probably travel whenever I want. The only thing that reminds me that I got it is the random shooting pain that comes up and down my left arm randomly. So,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I could be sitting like this and it'll just shoot down my arm. It's
That's
weird.
Scary.
It's fine.
Maybe it was the ouchie. Maybe she got a nerve.
Well, they told me that I was told that the vaccine that goes into muscle, and I was like, wow, I'm surprised they were able to give it to me. What muscle did they find for it to go in? So yeah, any story. So that's that's all we're going to talk about COVID. We're vaccinated and cool. Good for us. But no, for real. I know that was a joke. People take it very seriously. I did take it seriously. If I wasn't serious, I wouldn't have got it. So I'm just happy.
Joked about it.
Yeah, to be able to be around family and friends more safely than I was before. So.
Hey.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. This podcast is about soccer, by the way, for those of you that forgot.
Me.
But yeah, we'll get into it. You want me to lead off?
Yeah, but I do want to tell everyone, in case I dip out and throw up, I'm drinking a Carlsberg and a milkshake at the same time.
We got milkshakes. It's last story before we actually talk about soccer. Being in Arizona, there's not a whole lot of great food, and Chicago and the surrounding Chicago areas, we have a love affair with food. So it really bothered me. There wasn't a lot of great.
Which explains my pant size.
And so there's all these places I had to visit, and there's a really great beef place right by Kelly's house, and we got milkshakes, and then realized that we were going to be drinking afterwards too. So yeah, if I dip out, now you know why. But first things first. Speaking of dip outs, here we go. There was a training ground bust up or a fight between Rudiger and Kepa. After their West Brom loss last week, 5-2, Tuchel said that it was serious and the pair actually had to be separated, but neither player were actually punished. So interesting. It was in a small-sided game, and it was a late challenge, I guess. Rudiger came in late on Kepa, and it sparked some kind of a fight. So... don't get me wrong, it was serious. Tuchel said sometimes you have little. He said little 3 times. I didn't just stutter. He literally said little 3 times. Little situations where you maybe look away, then sort them out alone. This was not the case. We needed to interfere in the situation, so the situation was serious, but how the guys handled themselves was also impressive and showed a lot of character. So, go ahead, sorry.
It kind of just, to me, seems like... maybe Kepa was having a bad day, Rudiger went in on a bad tackle, and it was like, dude, this is practice. We're not trying to injure each other here type of situation. Maybe they have deep down feelings hatred towards each other. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? It's Chelsea. They're battling for top 4, and they got humiliated by West Brom. So I can imagine that the first practice back from that was they probably started the practice pretty intense.
Tension's high.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone likes Tuchel. I also don't know that for a fact. I know that I don't like him I always say, for literally no reason. I'm the worst example ever. I'm just still mad. So, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's just not, going well, and they're taking it out on each other. Kind of how I thought, Arsenal's life was when they, had, no good coach, no good captain. Yeah. But who knows? I kind of like to create different scenarios in my head to, make it sound more dramatic than it probably is.
And to try and understand it.
Yeah, but I can't, can you, okay, think of the people you live, your wife, when you lived with your parents, anything, you're telling me the 20-something years that you lived with your parents, you didn't have any arguments?
Yeah,
incorrect.
Exactly, yeah.
These guys literally spend almost every single day together, 365 days a year together. So, I'm sure that there's probably more of this kind of stuff happening than we even know about.
Yep.
There's no way that they're all just, so happy to be around each other 24/7. No way. I mean, I haven't seen 90% of my friends... And, hardly ever during COVID. And when I get together with them, I get so freaking moody all the time. I can only imagine.
Well, and as you know, I mean, this is a goalkeeper and a defender. So, and they lost 5-2. So the tensions are even higher. The whole team's going to be pissed off.
Right.
But these two individuals had a good hand in defeat.
And you have to think for Kepa, though, too. He started the season, and it was awful. He did not do good. Mendy stepped in, and you have to remember, Mendy, started his career with Chelsea with 3 or 4 clean sheets, and was oh, Mendy's the answer, and then he kind of took a turn for the worse. Now Kepa's back, and now it's not going well. So I feel like you have the kind of, Kepa's probably very frustrated within himself, because he had a chance, lost it, and now kind of has a chance again, and that game was what it was. Actually, I have it written down right here. 2-5. Chelsea lost to West Brom. So, you can only imagine that wasn't the best. Because Kepa was in goal for that, wasn't he?
Mm.
Yeah. I think that would be very testy, too.
Yes. Yeah, it would not have been a good day back at the office. But speaking of not good days back at the office, that incident happened during training. There was an incident between two players in an actual game. League 2, Grimsby Town versus Bradford. A player... Who was the player? Oh, Stephen Payne was sent off during their defeat to Bradford for headbutting his teammate, Felipe Moraes, in the tunnel. I guess the incident happened as the players were heading off the pitch at the end of the first half, shortly after Bradford had scored. And it looks like Payne may never play for the club again. That's what the coach said. Yeah,
that's actually intense. Like I can understand arguing or getting into fights, but like that's serious. Like that's a very serious action to have done. So I don't blame the coach for making that call.
Yeah, it said, he's disappointed. They let the team down. They let the fans down. They let the other players down. He says, now I have to concentrate on what to do next for the good of the team. The club will be taking action. That will remain private, but it won't be swept under the carpet. Payne will definitely get a 3-match ban for being sent off, and I have some good thinking to do before I decide whether he ever plays for the club again.
Yeah, that's straight up anger management there. That's messed up.
I'd like to know why the headbutt. It doesn't say, and I looked again to see if maybe some stories came out or somebody on Twitter leaked something, but there was nothing on it of why he decided to go and headbutt his own player. So, we'll have to see.
Just probably more internal shit going on. Who knows? Maybe he screwed his wife or something. John Terry'd him.
John Terry'd him. Yeah, exactly. More terrible news inside of clubs. Hertha Berlin, a team in Germany, have sacked the goalkeeper coach Zoltz Petri with immediate effect after he made anti-gay comments in an interview. It was actually on television.
I think that's completely fair. I mean, in the 90s, you probably could have gotten away with that, but nowadays, it's just things that you can't get away with. And it's just disrespectful. Learn how to read the room. And we're over those kind of comments, so.
Yeah, and that's, I'm not even going to go into what he said, but he was just basically upset about a pair of Red Bull Leipzig players who were supporting the LGBT community. And he just kind of had some gripes with that, but obviously you can't do that while you're representing a club. So I'm glad, it was immediate effect. As soon as it came out, he was gone. So hopefully it, obviously it can't take back his words, but hopefully it makes people realize you can't say that kind of stuff.
Right, absolutely. Hopefully they learn quicker than not.
And one of our favorite things, besides taking shots for red cards, is streakers. And if you watched any of the Europa League matches last week, you got to see a streaker run onto the pitch in the Manchester United versus Grenada game.
This is the best story, not because he's a streaker, because of this next part.
Yeah, he snuck into the stadium 14 hours before kickoff.
That's commitment to streaking.
Yes, it is. I want to know, was he naked the whole time? Did he streak it? Did he sneak in naked, and did he hide naked for 14
hours just for literally a 30-second streak?
They already the local media named him the Naked Man of Grenada.
I hope he gets a statue.
So do I. But the funny thing is, if you see him, he looks like he's been hiding there for 200 years. He looks like Castaway.
Maybe he was. Maybe it was more than 14 hours, and he just didn't want to admit that that's where he actually lived.
The memes that came out of this were hilarious. He's a 37-year-old man. He's a local man, too. But he went off so graciously. He just was he ran around, evaded police, and then the police caught him, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. There's no fans here, which makes the streak even better. He's literally doing this for him, because
I'm gonna go.
But there was a funny meme, the best meme that I saw was he tripped at one point, and he's sort of face down, he's almost doing a downward dog, and the caption just read, "Will Mo Salah do nothing for a penalty?" If you see the picture of the guy, you'll understand why. I laugh so hard.
I'm going to try and Google that.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Momo Salah do. Oh, my God.
When I saw that, I laughed so hard. I showed it to my dad. I just had to.
That's amazing. Let's see if it pops up.
He, does this somersault. He, basically rolls around on the ground, and somebody snapped him, and it looked like he was tripping.
Oh, nothing. I don't want to dig into it. That's amazing.
Well, in the continued fight, I guess, against social media racism and hatred, Jose Mourinho has said Tottenham Hotspur's entire club are considering joining the social media boycott after Davinson Sanchez became the latest player to receive online abuse. The 24-year-old posted a picture of discriminatory messages on Instagram following their 2-2 draw with Newcastle last week with the words, "Nothing changes." Swansea City has recently announced that they are all the channels relating to the club, players and staff would fall silent for several days in order to draw attention away from the lack of social media or action taken by social media companies. Glasgow Rangers have done it as well, and it looks like Spurs are looking into it.
More and more weekly pop up saying they're doing it, which is great.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we spoke last week. It's like, whose responsibility is it? And I had a long conversation with my dad, who basically started the conversation off by saying, I was listening to this podcast recently, and they were talking about this, but
what's he talking about?
Yeah, he was talking about us. Yeah, but it's a society issue. It's just that it's not like this is new because of social media. What's new is that players can't, these people can't hide anymore. If they're going on to social media to say this stuff, it's out in the open, and more people can see it. People around the world.
It happens so much more on social media because everyone can hide behind a device. It's so much easier to be a bully, be racist on social media than in person because people are too scared to do that kind of stuff, and it's sad. It's sickening.
Right, and then they actually asked him whether he was going to personally quit, and he said, "I think the ones that can make an impact on this and resolve the problem are media giants. I think everything is in their hands in this sad situation because social media can be fun. It can bring people together. It can bring people from different continents to look like they're living on the same street. I have some fun. I try to be positive, and that's the way it should be. Unfortunately, it's not like that. But I believe that changing things is not going to be with individuals. It's not even going to be with education because honestly, my feeling is the new generations are not the problem."
And unfortunately, he won't be the last person to be preaching this.
Yeah.
There will always be someone else.
Right, and I think it's great, basically saying, it's not the kids that are the problem.
Right.
And that's coming from a 58-year-old who loves to point fingers at other people. So for him to basically point the finger at his own generation, I thought was... And somebody
pretty
like
funny.
Mourinho, who's such a giant in the media, I think those are powerful words.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And in the same vein, Jurgen Klopp had a really good interview about the same things, basically saying the club condemns the abhorrent racial abuse that Trent Alexander-Arnold and Naby Keita received after Liverpool's Champions League quarterfinal defeat last week. One of the women on the Liverpool team, Rinsola Babajide, received racist and sexist abuse on Instagram on Thursday. And social media, and basically Klopp said social media has a problem that hasn't been sorted yet. People can hide behind whatever account and say what they want to say. The problem is that it has to get sorted out on this planet as quickly as possible.
Right.
So, and then he also basically said, if you're going to make those comments to us or to any of our opponents and you call yourself a Liverpool fan, we don't want you here.
Yeah.
We don't want you at our stadiums.
We don't want you to be representing.
Yep. He literally said, you can walk alone because we didn't want you.
Amen. I respect that.
Same.
I agree with that.
Same. You want to take this one away? This is a big one.
The federal judge approves partial deal between players on the United States women's national team and U.S. Soccer Federation over unequal working conditions. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge things. Excuse me while I pull it up. Our favorite girl, Megan Rapinoe, has been working I'm going to compliment her today.
You're going to bash her.
Her butt off because, unequal working conditions. We even discussed this when we talked about that TikTok that went viral of the NCAA tournament, the women's weight room and the men's weight room. It's not just soccer. And the judge grants the settlement for them, which, it's just absolutely huge news. Hopefully it's the 500 steps forward into the right direction, into getting equal everything. Finally, this is a quote from the article, finally giving the athletes access to facilities, training, care, and professional support is the next step needed in the long and hard work to grow the name of women's football. Like I always say, it's so frustrating that it's just taking now for all this to get done, now that we're finally realizing what women's soccer is and the potential it has. But also at the same time, I'm happy it's finally being realized.
Yeah, and this doesn't involve pay yet, which is really sad. But and this will show you how sad the situation is. The conditions that were included in this settlement are the use of charter flights for travel, venue selection, and the number of support staff and hotel accommodations. Like you said, the facilities for weightlifting and things like that are just not equal. So at least some of this lawsuit is being taken in and starting to work with. Equal pay is obviously, that's a big issue. We talked about that a lot on this podcast, and that's going to take some time. But at least, the ball's rolling on this, and hopefully they can come to some sort of agreement and kind of work through the pay aspect of it. But it's good to see that at least the other things on this lawsuit are going to change.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it brings a light to, like I said, it's literally 3 steps forward. Is it 100% is this over? No, they still have a lot to fight for, but it's a start. It's a start. One door has now opened, and we have 100 more to get open as well. But we're seeing that it did get open, so there's still hope that it will. And then moving on to the last topic, because we discussed a lot about how, we wish that there was, the men's, they feel like they have, their, main leagues, and then they have all these little extra tournaments and all these other leagues that they can be a part of. And we were saying how we kind of wish that the women's had a little bit more of that. How fun would it be if they kind of had a Champions League, things like that? Well, the women's team in the United States alone has the national team, and then they have the National Women's Soccer League. Literally the only two, if you want to play soccer in the United States, that's it, unless you want to play for a college, your college essentially. And so they have the NWSL has the Challenge Cup. It's just one of the a weekend tournament they have. And no, I think it's longer than a weekend. But they scheduled that cup during the first games for the women's national team. Yeah. Which Alex Morgan, she plays for the team in Orlando, and crap, I forgot what their name was. The Orlando NWSL team, and she was furious. Pride. She was absolutely furious that why would they do that? Now a bunch of girls are going to have to miss out on the 2 cup games. It's not fair to the other teammates that they have to miss out. It's disappointing. They don't have and they understand the window could have been smaller because of COVID, but it could have worked away. Gordon and I literally discussed a league, and we watched them play in 10 other leagues, and they make it work with COVID. So it's just kind of frustrating that they pretty much had to choose. There probably wasn't a choice between 2 teams, 2 games. The last time that I even noticed something like that happens when I played recreation soccer and club soccer at the same time. Right. It's just, I can understand her frustration. I would be just as annoyed. I think, Alex Morgan makes it very clear that the Orlando Pride team means just as much as playing for the national team. So it's just upsetting to her that now she had to make that decision and let down her Pride players that she plays with on the field with. Yeah, and that's, I don't want to point fingers because I don't know the whole story, but that might come down to, we can only get the venue for this period of time. Right. We can't, there's no flexibility in it, and
and that's just the difference between the men's and the women's. Where in the men's, if there's international breaks or something like that, or like one team advances further in the Champions League or whatever, games will be postponed if needed, or the League Cup and things like that, you change the venue and they change the times and you change the days of those games. So this is just one of those other things where everything's kind of set in stone and the women don't get the same wiggle room, I think.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we should have switched those to start on like a low note and then end on a high note for women. Sorry, folks.
Well, there was only like one high note in that whole thing, and it was the naked striker guy.
No, you're not
Everything
wrong.
else wasn't that great.
You're not wrong. But let's move into some games because we saw Champions League play this week. What is it? The semifinals was this week. What is it called? Quarterfinals. Yeah. Semis was like 2 weeks ago.
Semis are next. The 20...
I know nothing. Why do I even do a soccer podcast? I don't know.
Semifinals are the 27th.
Okay, well, it was the quarterfinals, and it was irrelevant what was before them because those games are past. Yesterday, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, Chelsea lost to Porto in a 0-1 game.
Yes, but Chelsea advanced 2-1 on aggregate.
Yes. PSG loses to PSG loses to Bayern 0-1, but it isn't enough for the champs to move on.
Yes, so PSG advances on goal difference.
In today's games, sorry, that was all in caps. Dortmund played Manchester City 2-1 for City, right? Mm-hmm. And City goes through.
Yeah, 4-2 on aggregate, that one.
Liverpool plays Real Madrid. It's a 0-0 outcome today, but Liverpool are out.
Yes.
Real Madrid
3-1 on the aggregate there. And the semifinals are, like I said, the first matchup is the 27th, and the second one is May 4th. And the group has already been picked. It's Chelsea versus Real Madrid and PSG versus Man City.
And that ends our segment on the Champions League.
Nice and easy.
Stay tuned for the semifinals.
Teams left. 2 English teams left. So out of these 4, who do you want?
Oh my God. Sorry. This is difficult for me.
It's very difficult.
So I'm going to give you a few scenarios because why make one decision when you can make 3?
Right. Have your cake and eat it too.
I'm kind of rooting. I think my main is Chelsea PSG, mostly, but I would also be fine with City. No, I hate Real. No, so that Chelsea PSG. The only reason why I don't want City is because I don't want them to win the Champions League and the EPL.
Yeah. Can you imagine the heads?
I'm already fine with them winning the EPL. I just could not let them win the EPL and Champions League.
I can't. City and PSG, the sad part about this matchup is that money overspending without consideration of a team. I mean, City, you can't really say that anymore because Pep has kind of focused the spending. But, like, these are 2 teams that, aren't really powerhouses, and one of them gets to go to the final, which is annoying. So, I don't like Real Madrid, but if they won, I don't think I'd be that upset, especially because Liverpool just lost to them. Honestly, and it pains me to say because I don't like Chelsea anymore with Tuchel. But Chelsea, I think are I honestly look at this. I don't like any of these teams.
Maybe no one will win.
But Chelsea would be the team that if I had to pick.
Yeah, I agree. And I know you don't like when 2 English teams go to the final of the EP.
In this case, I think this season, I would rather.
Yeah.
I don't want Real PSG. It's just like, it's like everyone and their mom. It'd be like if Real Madrid and Barcelona play. It's like if you don't really know that much about soccer, like you play PSG or you play Real Madrid on FIFA, and like you think you know stuff about soccer. So like I don't think I could handle that.
And it's not that like 2 English teams, but like it was annoying when like Real Madrid and Barcelona were always in the final.
Yes, yeah.
And last time we saw 2 English teams in the final, like, yes, Liverpool won, and that was epic, but, like, it really wasn't, like...
It wasn't a great game.
It was so boring.
What I will say is, it would be kind of cool if Aguero got a Champions League medal.
Oh, you're right.
It would be kind of cool. That would be the only good thing about City winning, would be that Sergio Aguero gets to cap off, like, an incredible career.
No, that would be pretty epic. Dang it.
Wouldn't like to see it, but that would be the pill that I would swallow if I had to.
You're right. Well, I'm just going to let fate go in their hands, and then I'll just watch it.
Yeah, now we can watch and relax.
I just remember the Champions League being the day after your wedding, the final last year.
Yes, it was, because I was very hungover, and we watched it in bed.
I was so hungover. I watched it on my phone, and I made plans the next day to go sit through, I don't want to say sit through, because I love the movies Jurassic Park, but we had a Jurassic Park movie day. I slept through 90% of them, because I was so hungover, but I had the game on, like, my phone. Great wedding, by the way. Good times. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
It's great.
Still the official Dipbox shot glass.
Yes. It's actually the only shot glass I have left. Because when Kelly moved out, she took all of them.
Oh, jeez.
I realized I thought I had a ton of shot glasses, realized I had none.
Except
for Gordon and Sam's wedding shot glass, which is the official shot glass of Dipbox, and like a plastic one.
One plastic one.
Yeah. All right, but let's get into it. Picks of the week 31 to be exact. Great games, some boring games.
A lot of VAR controversy. I thought VAR was taking a turn.
No. Wait,
wasn't.
so this is on my VAR, and then I had to go all the way down here because I thought I left so much room and I didn't. This week was the most difficult for me to pick best and worst games.
I thought last week was hard, but this one, like, we saw more goals this week. Like, I don't know what this league doesn't ever sleep.
No, they don't. It's like Vegas in a soccer league.
Yeah, 100%.
So let's get into it. Best games. I have a few. Whoa. Obviously written down. If I didn't have a few, then I think people would be nervous. But I will give you guys a hit. No, yes. What?
No, yes. Okay.
I was trying to be like sneaky, but I can't. So I'm just gonna get going. Not like I'm not leaving, like just gonna start.
I'm gonna go.
My first game that I really enjoyed was the Tottenham. No, that's not the game I wanted to say first. Oh my god, I'm panicking. Okay, sorry. Just had a little panic attack, but I'm back. We're starting with best game. My best game, the one I really wanted to say, was West Ham versus Leicester City.
Oh, man. Poor West Ham fans.
Poor West Ham fans. Poor Leicester City fans.
I couldn't handle it. West Ham goes 3-0 up against Arsenal, then ties 3-3. Then, who'd they play last week?
Wait.
They went up 3-0.
Wolves.
And then they almost lose. They go 3-2. And then now here again, 3-2. They go up 3-0.
Yes, but they won. They stuck it out and they won. West Ham and West Brom are two teams right now that unbelievable. Yes. Jesse Lingard is literally. I try and find a new way to describe him every week, but he's
having fun.
Yes,
that first goal. That's a goal that only people really confident and really enjoying.
Yes.
And I'm going to skip way ahead here. I actually have that goal because of the celebration. He did like a weird dance. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you really need to find it. It's really funny. But he's enjoying himself, and it's fun to watch him. I'm enjoying watching him.
I'm enjoying watching West Ham in that sense. West Ham literally had 4 shots on goal, 4 shots on target, and 3 of those goals went in. Leicester had 15, 5 on target. So kudos to West Ham because 90% of your goals, 98% of your goals literally went in the back of the net.
Yeah.
To me, it was just a fun game. I really like Leicester City, but I know right now that they are kind of preventing us in the top 4. So a part of me, like Liverpool, a part of me was happy with this loss, but a part of me was like, the past 3 weeks, West Ham has literally won three games against some pretty big teams.
Right.
So I just simply love that. I love Jesse Lingard's both his goal. Bowen's goal was great, and Iheanacho's 2 goals were phenomenal.
That guy,
that guy's he's also on fire too. So it's been great, and I love this game. And then going the other West team, the West Brom, versus Southampton, which is hard. You know what? Southampton always goes through these slumps, but this slump they can't get out of it.
Terrible.
And West Brom right now is just, I mean, they're on fire right now. They literally have been so successful. They took out Chelsea. Now they just took out Southampton. I believe Leicester City plays West Brom next weekend.
Yeah.
Which it's terrifying for Leicester because I would be nervous. A penalty to start the game off. Right after Matt Phillips scores, and then in the 70th minute, Caleb Robertson. Southampton didn't stand one single chance. At that point, they could have put anyone else out in the field for hope. But for me, I simply enjoyed this game. Lots of shots, only a few on target.
It was a saved penalty?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. The saved penalty was also phenomenal. So for me, this game was good. I do have one third one, and I never thought I'd ever put this team in like my favorite games, but the Tottenham-Manchester United game was one of my favorites. Like, this game was honestly so exciting. Disallowed goals, Cavani, and then he comes back and scores again. Fred scores, and he has not scored since 2017, I believe.
Yeah.
Mason Greenwood, welcome back, my friend.
I have a note here before you move on. I got a note because a couple weeks ago, I think it was 3 weeks ago, you said, one person I haven't seen much of and I kind of miss him is Mason Greenwood. And 3 weeks in a row, he's one of the best players for United.
Yeah.
So the curse of Ditbox actually worked in the reverse because you called him out for being bad and now he's good. So you're welcome, Mason Greenwood. No,
it's awesome. And and then the save, and I was going to talk about it later. The save, no, not this game. Wait, Dubravka, who does he play for?
Newcastle.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. But no, and then the announcers kind of made me laugh because actually Hugo Lloris, I was supposed to talk about this later, he kind of had like a really bad save, and the announcer's like, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to let Tim Howard, rip him a new one. And then he made like a really good save like 5 minutes later. He's like, Tim Howard, don't forget about that.
Yes, yeah.
I thought that was just really funny for me.
They were talking about him in the second half too.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. No, but this game was good. Manchester United, they were alive. And if they could always play like that, and like, man, they would be sitting at the top of the table. I truly believe that.
Well, one thing that struck me with this, and there's actually a lot of talking points, but I'll wait till we get further down in the other categories to talk about them. But since you brought up how they've been looking good and they've played well, right before, when they first bought Fernandez in January of last year, they started this like really nice. Remember them winning all these games? They won like 11 in a row or whatever, and then COVID hit, and then they hit a stumble and they started this season bad. But now we're like seeing what United was at the beginning of last year, 2020. I still think they're missing a few pieces, but like this is I think Manchester United have figured themselves out. I think they don't have, like I said, they don't have the pieces to play, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has found an identity, which we haven't seen in United for a long time.
It's kind of exciting. I totally agree with that. Like I said, I usually just never talk about United games unless it's them losing badly, but this was really fun to watch. This kind of reminded me of like, growing up when we only saw United games on the TV.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of like that when I like used to only follow United because that was the only games on ESPN.
Especially with Edison Cavani, like he's
I don't get it.
He's playing really well.
I almost like every time they actually play him, he's so good. I'm like, why don't they play him more? And then I like realize his age and stuff. Yeah. And he probably wouldn't be as good if he was on the field every single game, like starting. But it's like every time he does start and he like gets a significant amount of time, it's like, oh my God, you are so good.
I just don't understand how you could play for that long, win all those trophies, like pretty much get every accolade you could possibly get, and still have the hunger and desire. I mean, he was pissed when that goal was disallowed.
Yeah.
And, he went after it. He made the shot that ended up, like, that the goalie Lloris spilled, and Fred puts in. And then he ends up getting his own. Like, he was so pumped. He was on his knees, pumping his fists and screaming in the air. I mean, how do you still... It's just impressive. I really enjoy watching him.
Yeah. What were your best games?
I'm going to go for the two that were last-ditch winners. The Leeds versus City.
Love this game.
And the Liverpool versus Villa. So,
Love
obviously,
that game.
Leeds versus City was probably one of the most shocking defeats in the Premier League that we'll ever see.
Stuart Dallas.
Yeah.
A name that I don't think have said on this podcast yet.
Right.
2 goals. Right before half. 90 plus. Sorry, this is your turn.
Go for it.
This was a really great game, though.
It is.
I mean, a lot of really great goals, too, as well. The red card was, to me, I thought that the call with Tarkowski with his high kick for the Burnley game, I think, was worse than the red card given for Liam Cooper in the Leeds game.
The Newcastle, sorry. Yeah,
yes.
100%. Yeah, high boot. And it wasn't like, there's sometimes when they call high boots when someone's like really stooping low to get a header.
Yeah.
That was high, way high in the air. And
well,
doesn't get called.
He didn't get a penalty and nothing.
Right. And yeah, Liam Cooper, I thought the original call was okay. A yellow, play goes on, but then the VAR booth asked Andre Mariner to look at the screen, and then Andre Mariner decided to change his mind. We can, since we're kind of on the thing, we can talk about the VAR in this situation. Do you think that VAR, and I know the answer is yes, but I want to kind of discuss it, but I think what we're seeing is that instead of the VAR being like, hey, this also happened, might want to check the monitor, and Andre Mariner going over there and being like, okay, but I still agree with my call. I feel like the refs are like, oh, they must have seen something else, and they changed their mind without even thinking about it themselves. Because it was a soft red card. I mean, you could see it. Had they given a red card in real time, you can make an argument for that as well. I think it was one of those borderline ones. But the fact that it was yellow, they asked him to go to look at it, and then he changed his mind, and that's like right before halftime. You're thinking like, this is going to get real bad for Leeds because they always give up so many goals. And here they're playing City, who are in fantastic form.
And Bamford, who had a phenomenal first half, was taken off. And I was wondering, is he still going through an injury?
I think so.
Because I was shocked,
yeah.
and because he was on fire, he was on his way to another a goal, and then they took him off the field. So I'm wondering if he did, but who knows? Maybe if he would have stayed on, he would have been hurt, and then City would have.
Right.
Taking advantage
of
it.
I think that it was double, a combination of those, because he's still, I feel like, not 100% fit. And they realize, Marco Bielsa, he probably realizes that they're down a man. Let's take off our striker that basically just stands up there. Let's bring another defender on. And so I think it was tactical as well as let's protect Patrick Bamford, because he's not going to get. Why keep him out there when he's not going to get a whole lot of chances? I don't think anybody thinks they're going to win this. I mean, City literally had 71% possession. They had 29 shots.
Yeah.
And when they scored,
it was all City. It was all. Excuse me. And the City lineup was a little bit different, and I don't know if Klopp went in, Pep went into this kind of being like, I'm gonna mix it up. We're already so high up on the top of the table. No one's probably gonna catch us. We now have a chance to win the Champions League.
Yeah, I think that was
Let's start resting some players.
Yeah, definitely.
Filtering in and out a lot of players, because I feel like this is Pep's dream come true. The league, EPL, and a Champions League win.
And maybe the League Cup, and maybe the FA Cup.
That's the ultimate season right there.
No one's ever won 4 trophies.
So I think that it's so close to him, and it's in reach that he might. I feel like that this loss is. I don't think it's hurting him too bad.
No, but it definitely shocked the world.
Yeah. Oh, sure. It shocked me.
The Liverpool one on the other side. This is Aston Villa beat them 7-2 last time.
This game was scary.
Watkins scores first again, and then Liverpool have another shockingly close VAR decision go against them before halftime. And then Mo Salah scores, and shockingly, this is the first goal in open play at Anfield since December 27th.
Oh, God, that's awful.
That's a terrible run-up for him. But yeah, they end up winning it in the 91st minute, and from no other than Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was snuffed for an English place and basically just saying "fuck you," Gareth Southgate. But it was a really good goal too. So those were my two games of the week.
Great games. Moving on to our worst games, I'm gonna let you start it.
I could say one, but I'm actually going to go the other, just because you put it as your best game, or one of your best games. The West Brom game, because of VAR.
Yeah, VAR was a bitch in that game.
Digne scores, headed home, and he was flagged offside by the linesman. So VAR has to look at it, because it's a goal. And VAR didn't make a call. It came back and they said, we cannot definitively put a line. There's something wrong with the system. And he was clearly onside, and you didn't need to drop the lines to see that he was onside.
Right.
But because they couldn't draw the lines, they couldn't make a call. So they left the on. Obviously, it doesn't affect the game too badly because West Brom scores 3. But that just shows you how terrible VAR is. And it spoiled the whole game for me. I didn't want to watch anymore because of that. And it was a Monday game. Just terrible.
I don't blame you. Did you have any others?
No. I mean, there is one more, but I'm sure you're going to mention it.
Mine was kind of difficult. So, the Brighton-Everton game just didn't do anything for me. There was just nothing.
That is a Monday game.
The game wasn't exciting. There was really no good shots. So, that's it. But you know what? The Burnley-Newcastle game was 2-1 game. Great for Newcastle to win. But you know what? This game was the definition of games that I really freaking hate. Burnley had 24 shots, 4 on target. And if you're going to lose and that's what your statistics are going to be, I'm going to put you in our worst category. Because that is awful. 58% possession, you only score 1 goal. Vidra was the only exciting part of this game. I wouldn't even give the Newcastle goals by Murphy and St. Maximum. I mean, they were, sure, great goals, but honestly, Vidra was the only exciting part of this whole game. So for me, that was it. It's just frustrating. Newcastle is such a weird team for me. It's like, I feel like they're just like, they're like kids that like snuck into like a theme park for free and they haven't been kicked out yet. It's like, how are you still in this league? Like, how are you still in the theme park? Yeah. How has no one realized like that you're in here for free?
Especially since like St. Maximin just got back from injury. They subbed him on, I think, like the 55th minute, and like he was the one that assisted and scored. So like they had nothing outside of him.
Excuse me, I totally agree. I'm not saying the Wolves Fulham game was like my boring game, but I just want to point out that was Adamo Traore's first goal all season.
Since December 2019.
What? Like, what?
He did not score in 2020.
Like, dude, get off the weights and practice shooting the ball.
It's terrifying because he was so lethal last season. It's just shocking to see something like that. But
he was so lethal for half the season.
Yeah, well,
I remember he was so good, and then all of a sudden he
started oiling.
You know what it was? He beat Manchester City, and then everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Everyone started paying attention.
That's the guy that had the breakaway, and the Wolves beat the champ. Like blah 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 blah, and then
it's possible he
was like on this high horse and did so good, and then just went to shit. Like he's a mediocre player. Like he's a bodybuilder. Like. I just feel like way too big to be playing soccer. Like, not like fat big, like muscular.
He's
like
too enormous.
I don't know how he can run with all that muscle.
And he's fast as hell, which is odd.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
All right, let's move on to VAR because I'm going to try and get through my notes. They're so sloppy because there was so much. So, I mean, there's a lot we kind of already talked about, so we'll skim through. Obviously, we talked about Liam Cooper's high leg red card for Leeds. Check. West Ham offsides for their second goal, and it stands. VAR says goal.
Yep.
Good for them. But there was a fourth goal, offsides, no goal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not great for them. Heung-min Son being he was slapped in the face, backhanded actually.
Oh God! Let's talk about this one. Well, actually, get through your list. And
Okay, I'm not gonna cross it out because you know. Slapped, and which led to Cavani's goal not standing. So he was slapped. His whole team went up and kissed him on the cheek, which led Cavani to have an open goal and score, and then they said no goal. West Brom, offsides, no first goal for them. Awful. There was a saved Southampton penalty when they played West Brom. Great. Wolves' first goal was disallowed.
Yep.
Awful.
Right before halftime.
Yep.
I don't think he was offside though.
Ben Mee was pushed down in the box during a freaking corner kick. No penalty. Sorry, Ben. Burnley game, high kick on Tarkowski, but no penalty was given. He literally freaking lifted his leg so high. There was a VAR in Arsenal, but clearly I was so fed up by taking notes, I just wrote VAR Arsenal, so I have no idea what it's for.
No, I don't even have that one written down.
Well, there was VAR in the Arsenal game. I'm just not exactly sure why. But wait, let's quickly... I'm so happy you didn't put Arsenal game as one of your best games. Yes, did Lacazette have a phenomenal game?
He did.
He's been having a lot of phenomenal games. But at my point, I will now refuse to put best games down if a team is playing Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Sheffield United is literally a burn week.
Terrible.
If you don't play well for them or get a total of 3 points, then you are disgusting in my eyes. Like, that's sad for you. Moving forward. So, yes, 3 goals. Lacazette was phenomenal.
He was really good.
That's all I want to say. So I was really happy because I didn't want to have to be like...
No. It's like when you were a kid and you like played a very, very good team and a very bad... Like we used to have this international game. It was just for the World Cup and it was only countries. And we used to play like Japan or like the Maldives versus like Germany on easy. And then we used to like try and score 25 goals.
Jesus.
That's how it is playing Sheffield United right now.
And I'm sorry, but Sheffield, you gave yourself this title.
Yeah.
So, you are now just another training
I agree with you.
ground. Okay, so let's go back. Let's rewind back to the Son being bitch slapped in the Manchester United game. What are you doing?
So sorry, there's like a piece of hair that keeps... It's like it's not bothering me. It's just in the corner of my eye. Yeah, let's talk about this because there's so much to talk about here. There's a lot to talk about. It actually is going to infect. Oh my God, COVID. My manager moments, but I won't get into that just yet. I just want to talk to you about what happened and how you feel about it because it's a perfectly good goal. It's a beautiful goal. Cavani scores it.
Such a good goal.
Well worked, but in the build-up, like 4 or 3 passes before that.
Yeah, not much.
Son goes into McTominay, and McTominay like kind of does the classic guy on the ball situation where he just feeling where the hell the other defender is just to know how much space he has. And Son, their hands meet, and it's just kind of, there's so much pressure that almost like flips off it.
Flips back, yeah.
And he grazes Son, and Son goes down for like 3.5 minutes.
It's almost like equivalent to when you're like laying on your bed and you're looking at your phone, but you're holding it over your face, and then you like drop the phone on your face. Yeah. Like, it was an accident. Like, you just lose feeling in your hand. I'm not gonna whip my phone across the room and be like, "This is your fault." That's how I relate it. Like, it was an accident. Right,
but my thing is, why do we have to go back that far? Like, why is VAR? Let's rewind it. Like, if I Jesus, I cannot say that word. If I rewound that, like, 5 minutes, could I find something out? Like, how far are we going back?
Right.
It's not a foul. It's not.
No.
But even if it was a foul, like, how far do you go back? It's 4 passes.
I don't know. And, yes, that was ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous.
And something about this season, and it probably is Mourinho, but I'm not sure I like Son anymore.
Okay, I don't like him this season either.
Son was a guy I really enjoyed. I thought he could slot into any team. I wanted him on Liverpool if he wanted to move. I don't think I'd take him. He just, like you said, a little whiny.
He has like a big head now.
Possibly.
So
he's scoring enough goals for it, though, I guess.
I mean, he is, him and Kane both, but what are you going to do? He just doesn't seem like the guy that maybe... I don't know. I'm not going to come to assumptions anymore.
I don't like how, like, they're looking for something. Like, it's one of those things that, you know, like, I don't even want to say this, but with work, you know, like, if I was to get in trouble, and I just started, like, a job that I did a long time ago, but... when you have a job, like, if somebody really wanted to, if you got in a little bit of trouble and they start going back in your work, if someone's looking for something, you're going to find one or two mistakes always. So, like this is how I feel what VR is. The VR is, like, hell-bent on finding a situation to overturn a call. I just don't like it. I'm glad United won.
Because that's their job. Like, but it's annoying because it's okay to not have to have VAR. Like, it's okay. Like,
right. And what I think what made this worse, and even more like how United felt unjustified for it, was because 2 minutes later, Son scores.
Yeah.
You know, so they're 1-0 up, then it goes 0-0, then now they're 1-0 down. It's
well, I mean, they definitely came back and got their payback.
Right, and that's why I'm glad United won because they.
And I'm glad Cavani scored the last goal.
Same.
Like, so glad.
Yeah, he deserved it.
To really put the cherry on top of
the winning goal.
Yeah. And then moving on to the best goals of this week. My first one is going to start with Cooper Dallas. Cooper Dallas? Who is Cooper Dallas?
You combined the red card. You mixed the red card and the goal.
Oh my god. Okay, Stuart Dallas. His second goal, the 91-minute goal, was phenomenal. But it was more of a team goal. It wasn't anything flashy. It just came from the back and it hit almost every player before it got to the back before Cooper Dallas puts it in the back of the net. Put one of Pulisic's goal, I forget which one. Left foot, front post, 3 defenders around him. I have no idea how it went in.
He's running. There's a ton of players in front of him, and then all of a sudden I see the goal do like a wave, and I'm like, whoa, he slammed that.
I have no idea how it went in, but it did, and it was epic. And then my last one's 2, but I wrote one down, and then another player scored, and I liked it better. But I wrote Fred's goal down, but mostly because he hasn't scored since 2017, and then Cavani scored again, and I was like, nope, that's got to go instead. Sorry, Fred. Cavani's diving header to make it a 3-1 victory for United.
Thumped it.
Yeah.
The only other ones that I had besides those, I guess I can't say Lacazette because it's a bye week.
No, you can. You just can't say that was the best game of the week.
Well, like, it wasn't even that great of a goal, but if you watch the build-up, it's like 4 or 5, like, bing, 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 goals.
Which are my favorite goals.
So great. Yeah. But it is Sheffield, so, you know, it is basically a pinball.
God damn it.
And then Murphy, his goal, like the cross from St. Maximin, and then the shot from Murphy was a very good goal.
Oh, yeah. The 2 goals that I said didn't matter.
Well, they didn't in the long run, but I liked it. And then I had to put Iheanacho just because, like...
Because his goals are great.
We're talking about him so much in the last couple of weeks, but his first goal was very good.
Super good. I loved it too. Moving on then to goalies. I feel like the past couple weeks have been so good on goalies, and this week it won't be. But I do want to comment on Meslier, the one goal I feel like I talk about every week. It kind of felt like he was like begging to be injured. Like every dive he took, it was like he couldn't get up, and I was like, but City really gave it to him, so I don't blame him. And I think he was like afraid. I honestly thought that he was going to get off the field injured.
I mean, he made, 8 saves? Oh, 6 saves.
Yeah. Hugo Lloris, we kind of already talked about. He had a couple bad saves and then some really good ones. And then Dubravka, 45 minutes in, right before halftime, makes a beautiful diving save that just like sets the tone right before going into half. Which was just phenomenal goal. So if you go back and watch that, it was literally 45 minutes in.
There was it in the Fulham game? I think it was Patricio, right? I'm pretty sure
Patricio.
Did he play?
Rue? Patricio?
I think he made a save on a free kick. Somebody made a really...
Did he play? And I didn't notice. In my defense, I didn't watch. Yeah, I was going to say, last time I saw he was on a stretcher.
Yes, yeah. I don't think he did.
Hold on. I have it right here. He played.
Okay.
I did not wake up for that game.
So, yeah, I think it was him because he was in green. And he tipped over somebody's free kick. Oh, I really did not prepare for the goalies. I'm sorry. But I'm almost positive it was a free kick that he kept up.
Well, God. Hold on.
Yeah, you know who had a really good game that you can't really say? Martinez for Villa. Because they lost, they ended up losing. But Liverpool had 10 shots. He made a few really nice saves.
Yeah, that is true.
He made a point blank against... You know, the goal that they ended up scoring was a point blank save that ended up bouncing out. I felt really bad for Martinez because he made a really good save on the first one.
Okay, that is true. Wait, what I can't remember, did Becker have his porn stash still?
No, he shaved it off after they lost to Real Madrid.
Also, who was the saved penalty on for the West Brom Sheffield game?
James Ward-Prowse.
Okay, so John Stones had a saved penalty.
Yep.
I feel like that. John Stone. I feel like that was where the...
I don't think he'll be a West Brom player next year.
Really?
He's so good. He's very good.
Who do you think he'd go to? If it's like Newcastle, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah. Who's not that great that...
Well, City will never get rid of Ederson. Arsenal burned? Don't even. You think they're going to get rid of Burned?
I don't know. I feel like Burn's been so hot and cold, but so is Arsenal. No,
Burn's been okay.
So is Arsenal.
Oh, Crystal Palace.
Does he replace Pickford?
Are we at injuries yet?
Does he replace Pickford? No, well, I mean, we can.
Okay, hold on. We'll talk. I don't know who he's going to replace. Errors. My error right now is literally just Sheffield United.
Yes, they are an error.
It's been an error all season.
Someone spilled water on their keyboard. They're short-circuiting.
I think, like I said, if you lose to Sheffield United right now, like, you are a laughingstock.
Yeah, Manchester United.
Okay, let's move on to injuries. Wait, so in the Everton game, Pickford and Dominic Calvert-Lewin have been out. Everton has not really won a game since Dominic Calvert-Lewin, DCL has been on injury. So Everton pretty much sucks without him. And then Pickford was on injury. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, really? And then they got a freaking shutout. So
Brighton,
I was like...
Brighton get 23 shots, but only 3 on target. Like you said, you got to pepper the net when you play Everton. Yeah. And they failed to do so. Again, and then
I was laughing because you're like, oh, is John Stone going to replace Pickford? And I'm like, he is injured, so who knows? That's why I was laughing. It's nothing exciting. My other injury I kind of had written down was just like the Bamford thing. Like, he was having such a good game and then was taken out halfway. So it was kind of just like, is there an injury that he's working through right now or what? But that's really all I have for injuries.
Saka for Arsenal was taken off.
Oh, yes.
That was the only big one. The one that surprised me was to see Christian Pulisic play.
Yeah, a full game.
I'm glad, too. He's got 4 goals this year. 3 of them have come in the last 2 games, so I was actually really happy.
Yeah, I was super pumped about that myself.
So worried that he had some kind of injury that he wasn't, one of those ones that just doesn't go away.
Yeah, and he's so young, and obviously we like him on the U.S. team as well.
Love him.
Okay, so then moving on, manager moments. My manager moment's kind of lame, but it made me laugh, so I wanted to write it down. So Pep Guardiola always has like his like water bottle on hand, and usually like when another team scores on him, he like drinks out of it. It's like a weird habit. And the announcers were like on one this week with the comments. And Leeds like scored their first goal, and they were like, Panda Pep, where's the water bottle? They're like, he didn't grab it, and then like a second later, he's like, he's grabbing it, he drank it.
And he always, I know you can't see this because this is a podcast, he always goes like this afterwards.
Yeah.
He drinks it, and then he slams it closed with his palm.
So I don't know if these announcers are just like, end of the season, they're not going to be on NBC anymore, so like might as well just like make it fun. Or what it is, but they were killing me. So that was just mine. It's stupid.
Well, I have the best one. The Son incident caused a Ole Gunnar Solskjaer versus Mourinho 3-day spat that also included Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's son. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. So Sound obviously goes down. Everyone's pissed off about it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, if my son, which was confusing for everyone because we weren't sure if it was his human son or his actual son. Anyways, if my son stays down like this for 3 minutes and needs 10 mates to help him up, he wouldn't get any food. And basically, he said he shouldn't be surprised because him and son did something similar in the last game that they played. Jose Mourinho got really, classic Mourinho. The thing about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's comments was he was struggling to find what he wanted to say. Yeah. You could tell Ole is not a shit talker. He didn't know how to shit talk. And he was struggling
the biggest shit talker ever.
He's he would not get any food. And it's you think he wouldn't get dinner, I wouldn't give him candy. He was struggling and he came up with wouldn't get any food. Mourinho, the ultimate shit talker. I don't know whether he pretends or if he was really pissed off, but he definitely played it very well. He took it very dark to say I'm a father and you always feed your children no matter
oh my god
no matter what they do.
I can't.
He said this is the exact quote from him. If it is me telling player A, B, or C from another club, if it was my son, I wouldn't give him dinner tonight or something like that. What would be the reaction? I think it's really sad you don't ask me about it. I think it's really sad you don't have the moral honesty to treat me the same way as you treat others. In relation to that, I just want to say that Sonny is very lucky that his father is a better person than Ole.
Oh my god.
Because I think I'm a father. You always have to feed your kids. It doesn't matter what they do. You have to steal to feed your kids. You steal.
Jesus Christ.
He deserves an Oscar.
God.
He's the ultimate shit talker. And then
I can't.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's kid comes out and says, my dad always feeds me. He's not a bad person. So
he got a call hey, we need you to say a quick comment.
It was probably Ole.
Yeah.
He's not a shit talker. He doesn't know how to shit talk.
That's amazing.
It's the best.
Okay, that's a good one. That sure beats my Pep Guardiola in the water bottle.
The Pep water bottle because I enjoy that
situation. Oh,
he always does. He sits down in his chair like a small child and folds his legs. And takes a sip of water and slams it with his palm. Yep.
Oh, Pep, you never get old. Final thoughts before we go to POTW Player of the Week. I kind of already talked about my final thoughts, so I was just kind of doing, I feel like I always, say, oh, this person's on a hot streak, this team's on a hot streak, and then I, actually go look at it, and, they aren't at all on a hot streak. They just won one game. So, I did some homework before I said that West Brom is on a hot streak, because I didn't want to sound stupid. And they kind of are. They just won against Southampton, 3-0. They just beat Chelsea 5-2. But before that, they did lose to Crystal Palace 1-0. Okay, hot streak. West Ham, another one. I feel like they've been doing well. And they have been. The last 3 weeks, they beat Leicester City 3-2. They beat Wolves 3-2. And they beat Arsenal, or they tied Arsenal 3-3. So that's okay. But in between them, West Brom does play Leicester City next, who just lost to West Ham. I'm a little bit worried for Leicester. They lost to City the week before, and now they just lost to West Ham, and now they're playing West Brom, who's doing really well and taking out a lot of big teams. And then we have Southampton, who have literally won one game in the past 5 weeks. And when I say one, I don't even think they've tied at all. I think they literally have just gotten 3 points in the past 5 weeks.
Oh no, they have, yeah. They lost 9 straight at one point.
It's awful. Like we said, Southampton usually goes through a little streak like this, but it's never been this bad. They can't get out of it. It's sad.
Yeah, and the other thing with Leicester, too, coming up this weekend, like you said, they're playing West Brom. I don't know, I should have looked this up, but I know that Ayoze Perez, James Maddison, and Nasser Chowdhury were fined and also benched in their game because they broke COVID-19 protocols. They had a birthday party or something. So I don't know how serious the club is going to take it, but they might be also missing those players for the game against West Brom, which would be big.
That would be huge for West Brom. Any final thoughts for you besides The party that just happened?
My final thoughts, it's a question for you as a final thought. Did this loss Tottenham out of the top 4 race?
Wow, that was annoying and unnecessary. Sorry, I need to pull up a table. Don't worry, I have it handy. Okay, where's Tottenham? They're sitting in 7th right now. Are they out of the top 4 race? How many points do they have? 49. Liverpool has 52. Wow, why do I keep slurping in this microphone? I don't ever think like that, and I don't know why. It's really throwing me off that West Ham's up there. I think that yes, because I think that when West Ham drops, it's going to be a fight between Leicester City, Chelsea, and Liverpool for 3 and 4 spot.
It's a when West Ham drops. See, because I've been saying
I said that.
I know, I've been saying that for weeks, but there's only 7 games left and they're still there.
Well,
because I'm not trying to make you second guess.
Can you imagine West Ham in the Champions? I kind of want to stay no, because I really want Liverpool in the Champions League. I want that payday.
Leicester can drop out.
Okay, City, Man City, Man United,
West Ham in 3rd.
West Ham and Liverpool. Oh my! And then it's gonna be Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, Everton.
Oh, you think Arsenal's gonna go all the way from there?
Wait, I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah, 7 games to go. We
okay.
Don't have to wait long.
Man City. You heard it here first. Man United. What did I say? Liverpool?
No, you said West Ham.
Oh, God. West Ham. Liverpool. There's your top 4. Chelsea. Tottenham. Everton.
So Leicester's going to drop all the way out?
Oh, I forgot about Leicester. Shit. Chelsea. No, I'm doing Liverpool, Leicester, Chelsea, Tottenham, Everton.
Gotcha.
No, but I want Arsenal. Okay. Shit. Arsenal.
So close this year.
Everton. I don't care what happens after Everton. I would like to see Leeds up there, but they're not. Leeds can sit. Leeds, what did I get?
They're fine. They're in 10th. They're fine.
8, 9. Leeds will be my ending at 10. They'll stay 10. I honestly don't give a shit below 10. I do give a shit. I do, but I don't. Because it's so, these teams, I actually would like to see Newcastle drop into the bottom 3. I'll take West Brom back.
I think
Newcastle can go.
Honestly, Brighton, Burnley, Newcastle are any one of those 3 are in danger. I think West Brom are going to be out of the relegation zone.
All right, we'll make a deal with you, FIFA. We'll keep West Brom, but you take Sheffield, Fulham, Newcastle, and Burnley down to the next league and give us 4 new teams. Let's just hit the refresh button on next season.
Yeah, why not?
Let's get a lot of new teams in here.
We'll get fans back in. Everything will be good.
Yeah. All right, well, here's my predictions end of season. There's no bets on that, but just for funsies, I guess.
All right.
Okay. Did I even answer your question? Oh,
you did, yeah.
All right, let's go
yes. The answer to the question was yes. That ended their top 4 homes.
All right, let's talk then. Player of the week.
Go for it.
Oh. My player is Guy.
Oh.
He wears a blue jersey.
Oh.
He just came back from injury.
Christian Pulisic.
Correct.
Nice.
Good. That was
a good game.
Yes.
Honestly, when you said blue jersey, I wanted to say it, and then I'm like, I don't want to be that guy.
No, Christian Pulisic, 2 goals this week. Coming off of an injury and hardly playing, I thought that was a really great game for Chelsea and him. So
same, and it's good for the U.S. and it's good for Pulisic because Tuchel obviously now knows that Christian Pulisic plays for Chelsea.
Yes, he does. I think.
I'm gonna go Edison Cavani. I've been enjoying his play.
You didn't even let me guess who it.
Sorry. He's a man.
Edison Cavani.
Damn it.
God, I'm so good! His dad owns him.
Owns him.
And he has long hair.
He's got long hair. His dad owns him. Yeah, my second clue is that his father owns him.
I'm sorry. Go
No,
I haven't let you speak this whole time.
Just the last couple of weeks, I've enjoyed his play. But something about this game and watching his tenacity and like a classic. We've sort of, the classic number 9 was always something that was in English football, and it's kind of gone away. It's not the norm anymore. It's the Peps with the false 9s and Jurgen Klopp with the top 3. It's kind of cool to watch a 9 work. I mean, I really enjoy.
Especially for United.
Yes. Yeah, just...
I like that. Cavani's a good choice.
But I don't think... I think we need to enjoy him because I really don't think he wants to be at United next year.
Well, according to his dad. All right, let's move on to fantasy. Round points, starting with goalkeepers. John Stone, will he be playing for...
That's just it. I haven't heard anything, but...
No, right now. Oh my God.
West
Brom, thank you. He got a total of 15 points this week. That's huge.
Yeah, that's massive.
Olsen for Everton. Wow. 10 points, but he got a clean sheet. And then Patricio for Wolves. Rue, 9 points. Our defenders.
10 points with 3 saves. I don't get that. Sorry.
Cooper Dallas. Just kidding.
Cooper Dallas.
Stuart Dallas from Leeds. 2 goals. 17 points. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Wait. Yeah, Cooper Dallas scored. Oh my God. Stuart Dallas scored 2 goals, right?
Yes,
Trent Alexander-Arnold got a goal 11 from Liverpool with 11 points. And then White from Brighton with 9 points. White. What is his first name? Ben White. Wow. Our midfielder is Christian Pulisic from Chelsea with 2 goals, 15 points. Jesse Lingard with 2 goals from West Ham, 14 points. And our 1 goal guy, Saint Maximum from Newcastle with 12 points.
He got an assist, though. That's why.
And our forwards, Lacazette from Arsenal had a great game. What's his first name? Lacazette.
Wow.
I want to say Pierre, but it's not right.
Pierre Aubameyang and Pierre Lacazette.
Lacazette. William.
Alexander Lacazette
from Arsenal with 13 points. Iheanacho from Leicester with 13 points. And Eddie Cavani from Manchester United.
We're going to go on Eddie C.
with 11 points.
Eddie C. Hopefully he plays another season.
Eddie C. That wraps up our fantasy of this week. Gordon, let's do table, even though I pretty much read the table, but it's better when you read it.
All right. At the top, with a game in hand, Manchester City, then Man United, then I'm going to read this off because I think this is more important. So these are points. Leicester, 56. West Ham, 55. Chelsea, 54. Liverpool, 52. Tottenham, 49. Everton, 48. Arsenal 45, Leeds 45. That is so the top 10. Let's see, in 4th place 55. There's 10 points separating 4th from 10th. So lots still to play for, especially with 7 games remaining. Then we've got Aston Villa, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Southampton, who somehow, despite the terrible run, are sitting 14th. Then we've got Brighton, Burnley, Newcastle. Brighton's 33 points. Burnley's on 33 points. Newcastle's 32 points. So there is a tight little race down there. Then we've got Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield. No shocks there. What is shocking is that West Brom are now 2 points from Fulham and 3 points from safety. So Fulham get another loss. West Brom get another win next week, and they'll switch places.
It's anyone's game then.
Yes. They can pull themselves out.
Moving on to anyone's game, let's talk about week 32. Coming up, it starts Friday, April 16th, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We are seeing Everton-Tottenham, which is a huge game for my little table I just made.
It is massive.
I need Everton to beat Tottenham so Tottenham could possibly drop. So that would be great. As for Saturday, is this accurate? 2 games on Saturday?
Yeah, because they actually play Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Almighty. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So literally from Friday, they play all the way. There's a game every single day until
starting Friday at 2. Gordon and I are just going live until the season's over. The longest live stream ever. So Saturday at 6:30 a.m. we'll have Newcastle versus West Ham. So Newcastle, I talked a lot of shit about you today, but I need you to win. And then at 2:15 we have Wolves versus Sheffield. Bye week for Wolves. They better get that win. Sunday, 7:30 a.m., we have Arsenal Fulham. Arsenal win, please, so West Brom can come out of relegation. And then at 10 a.m., we have Manchester United Burnley. Monday, April 19th, we have Leeds versus Liverpool at 2 o'clock. I need Liverpool to win. Tuesday, April 20th, we have Chelsea versus Brighton at 2 o'clock. And then I'm going to tell you the Wednesday game, and then I'll tell you the rest of the week. No, I should probably tell you up till...
No, Wednesday, because we'll have podcasts on Tuesday or Wednesday.
I know, but they're not going to hear Thursday's game.
Oh, you're right.
Wednesday's game will be Tottenham versus Southampton at 12. And then Villa versus Manchester City at 2:15. And then Thursday, April 22nd, we'll have Leicester City versus West Brom at 2 o'clock.
Massive.
Oh, so we just had a couple easy weeks, and now it's crazy town again.
Crazy town. And then, we're slowly getting to the end of the season here.
Yeah.
7 to go.
7? I can't believe it. And then at the end of the season, Gordon will have a baby. The ultimate trophy.
If he decides he wants to come when he's supposed to. We'll see.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Yeah, so I can watch the last games of the season.
I know, but I also kind of want I want Sam's bet to win. I think that's really funny. But that wraps up, guys. It was great being back in the Pod Addict, for sure. So
crazy.
This was fun.
It's a good feeling.
Sorry for all the chit-chat.
Yeah, and this actually is the first time that we've seen each other.
Since he's moved.
Yeah, so.
And he said his wife was coming, and then she didn't, and that was sad.
Yeah, she's working.
She had to work, so that's understandable. 911 dispatcher, it's not like she can just take time off whenever.
Right.
I said I was going to drive to her county and get into an accident so I can call and talk to her. I'm not going to do that. I didn't do that. All right, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, subscribe, share, tell some friends. We appreciate you all.
We appreciate everything.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
We appreciate you. That was it?
That was great.
Oh my god. I should have never started with saying season 2 episode 30.
It's not good. Well, you don't have to.
It always throws me off.
You can say, this is the last time I ever say this.
I'm just going to do it one day.